I'm sure you have looked up in the sky before and have seen the long white trails that form behind aircraft. These long trails have been given the name contrails. Contrails are formed from the exhaust of jet engines. They consist of water vapor and other chemicals from the jet fuel, typically forming at high altitudes due to the low temperatures. In the late 90s, people started noticing an increase in the duration of these contrails. Individuals started to accuse the government of being involved. A theory was proposed that the government was using military aircraft and commercial aircraft to spray chemicals into the atmosphere. This led to the term chemtrails. In the following video, a retired pilot explains more about chemtrails and what his thoughts are about them.
The contrails, not the chemical, the contrails occur because of cold air, minus 30. It takes a high altitude, around 30,000 feet plus. There's carbon dioxide and water vapor in that exhaust. That turns to ice crystals, and that's what you see, the white stream behind it. Those white crystals of ice warm up, dissolve, and the smoke goes away. And it never lasts more than a minute. What we're seeing now, and I first could not believe it, and I started looking at the skies, and these are not normal. They're not natural. There's something going on. I don't know who it is or why they're doing it. All I can testify is it's not natural and it's not normal. It's got to be some outside influence doing that. Thank you.
Here's where it gets crazy. The U.S. Air Force proposed a plan for air dominance in 2025. In a document titled Weather as a Force Multiplier, Owning the Weather in 2025, the following is stated concerning adding additional chemicals to aircraft exhaust. A method based on the injection of liquid hydrocarbon fuel into the afterburner's combustion gases was found to be more desirable. The government proposed the use of chemicals in aircraft exhaust. Not only did the government propose the use of chemicals in aircraft exhaust, they actually tested it in areas around the nation. In St. Louis, a chemical known as zinc cadmium sulfide was sprayed from aircraft. Tests from the experiment showed that the chemicals had drifted in excess of 100 square miles. The following is of a video of a man in St. Louis explaining more about chemtrails.
In a suburb of St. Louis, right around sunset, every night they're spraying, every single night. Had a really weird looking trail the other night. Went all the way down and all the UV rays was catching it, and it turned completely, absolutely orange, showing that it is catching the heat. That'd be the aluminum in it. The barium holds the heat when they spray. All the other chemicals, I have no idea why they're doing it. But I'm a traveler. I travel a lot. I go all over the United States. Lived in Dallas, lived in Ohio. This is one of the worst I've ever seen, is the St. Louis area. I don't know what they're doing, my friends, but I'll tell you what. People need to wake up.
As you can see from that video, the chemtrails can clearly be seen. As I continued my research, I decided to interview a commercial airline pilot.
So I fly a CRJ 200, 700, and 900. It's just a regional jet. And I have a commercial license and an airline transport pilot license.
Okay, and have you ever heard of contrails, or do you know how contrails form?
Yeah, I see them a lot, actually. I'll fly past other jets that are leaving contrails. There's moisture in the air that as it gets compressed and heated up in the engine, as it comes out the back of the engine, and it rapidly cools and expands, that's where it condenses and you'll see the moisture condense into the air. And that's what a contrail is.
Have you heard of chemtrails?
I've heard of them, yeah.
And so, do you have a part in doing the fueling of the plane?
No, I don't do any of that. All I do is once they finish fueling, I just make sure that they close the doors on the side of the plane where they put the fuel in.
Are there any chemicals added to the fuel? Any additional chemicals added?
I know they add something called Prist, which is just to keep the fuel so that it doesn't freeze when you're up at really high altitudes when it's really cold. So that is a chemical that they do add that keeps the fuel from freezing.
And do you know of any other chemicals, like, or any heavy metals that they might be adding?
Not that I know of.
As you could hear from the interview with the commercial pilot, even he himself doesn't know what is inside the jet fuel that commercial planes are filled with.